All right, what's going on, guys? My name is Ross, or Mr. Boss for the win, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be showcasing the 3 new supercars that actually came in Further Adventures in Finance and Felony, but have been kind of locked away temporarily. I'm actually in single player right now, and I was actually able to load these in the game and check them out a little bit. They're slightly incomplete, but it still should be pretty fun to see what they look like and feel like in game. And I'm also going to be talking to you guys about some more information and everything we know so far, including pricing, the possible release times, and a whole lot more. So that was one right there. That was the Dewbauchee 770. That's going to be a sports car. And then I've got the other 2 supercars in this garage right here. So let's go check them out. So here we go, boys. How epic is this? So I'm sure this is the one that like everyone is so excited for. This is the X80 Proto. At least that's what it's called in game. But I think it's actually going to be called the X80 like X80 Proto. I think that's the official name of what this car is going to be like. And it looks so menacing. I talked about in my video the other day, it kind of looks like a Batmobile hybrid of some kind. It just looks so beautiful. And then, of course, we've got the Pfister 811, which is supposed to be the Porsche 918 in real life. Really, really beautiful car. And you can see how the interior is not quite complete. We'll touch on that a little bit later and why I think that might be important to the release date of these cars. But we're going to go around. We're just going to drive them, have some fun, go into the Los Santos custom shop a little bit, change up the colors, play around with some few things. But you can see this is like the actual car model that is like going to be in the game. You can see the special wheels that have been applied for each one. So it's insane. So let's take this one out right now and give it a spin. All right, so here we go, boys. This is the X80 X80 Proto, or the Prototypo. This is actually pretty insane. I mean, this car just, it doesn't look like any of the other vehicles we have in game. That's how crazy it is. It doesn't look like it's, fits into the supercar class. It looks as if it's going to be in a whole nother class of its own, which would be insane. I don't think Rockstar would ever venture that far. But what's cool is we actually have the handling files of the vehicle. So this is actually how it's going to perform in game, like when it does come into Grand Theft Auto. Now, there might be some slight tweaks and changes that Rockstar ultimately end up doing, and I haven't upgraded this car whatsoever because I had to buy a fresh vehicle in order to get it to spawn. But nonetheless, this is probably how it's going to perform, definitely how it's going to look like, and you can just see how menacing this is. So we're going to take it into the LSC real quick, and then we'll be able to get a really good view of ultimately how this car is going to turn out. I am so excited. This is pretty crazy. All right, guys, so here we go. This is the vehicle inside of the Los Santos custom shop, and wow, does it look beautiful. This really allows you to just take in what I think looks incredible about this car. I think the wheels look really great. I love that like exposed coiling or piping right there. Whatever it is, it looks beautiful. Obviously, the grille itself, super menacing. It looks like a villain from a video game or something like that. Just looks totally ridiculous. And then the back itself looks insane as well. So this is going to be a crazy, crazy vehicle. So I figured I would just mess around with the colors here a little bit. I think this bright red, this bright Torino red, looks really good on the car. And one thing I noticed, at least from this model, is that the black stripe on the top of the hood, as well as some of the things on the back, like the spoiler and those on the rear wheel arches, those will actually stay the same color. So I'm trying to match the color here so you can see. So if I make the entire car Torino red, you can see the pieces of where the car will retain its, I don't know if it's like carbon fiber or just original pieces of the car, but nonetheless, that's ultimately what it will end up looking like. And just because I'm going to put the neon underglow on, I don't know what time of day it is it's going to be when I come out. Hopefully it's not nighttime. Cool. So yeah, this is really the final product right here. Look how menacing this car is. I wanted to go with red to match the brake calipers. I think that's pretty cool whenever you can do that. So yeah, this is our final design right here. Let's actually go ahead and take this up to a place where we can give it a little bit of a better view so we can check this out. I know the sun is setting here in Los Santos. But wow, does this look incredible. Well, we need to pump the brakes a little bit. There we go. So let's actually hop out. So the doors are really cool. They operate in the same way as the Osiris does in game. Those beautiful kind of butterfly style doors, which looks really, really good. So let me see if I can actually get them open for you guys right here. Boom, there we go. Nice. So going first person too, so we can check that out. Yeah, look how epic that is. That is so sick. So again, this is the new Dewbauchee X80 Proto or Prototipo. Again, I'm not sure exactly what the name of this car is going to be, but whatever it is, it's going to be pretty awesome because this is going to be such an incredible vehicle based on the looks and, from what I've seen so far, the performance as well. However, it's only one of 3 cars coming, I guess, in the next update or whenever Rockstar decide to add these into the game. So let's not waste any more time and let's jump right into the other 2. All right, guys, here we go with vehicle number 2. This is the Pfister 811, which of course is based off of the Porsche 918 in real life. And this is a beautiful vehicle. This is really, really beautiful. I can't wait to take this to the LSC. What does Downtown Cab Company want? They're interrupting this video. But just some things I noticed already off the bat is the back of this car looks incredible. I'm going to try and stop and then start so you guys can see the exhaust, hopefully. Yeah, that looks so cool. So the spoiler, I think that's built into the car. I think you have some minor spoiler options. We'll touch on that a little bit later in the video. But overall, just from a base car, it looks amazing. It's handling incredible right now. We haven't even done any upgrades to it in the LSC. I mean, this is just absolutely spectacular. I've been wanting another Pfister car in the game for a long time now. And it's about time that Rockstar finally added one. And they did it justice by adding such a beautiful real-life Porsche as well. The 918 in real life is just absolutely stunning. So let's go ahead and take this bad boy into the LSC, check it out a little bit, and I'll see you guys on the other side. All right, so here we go, the Pfister 811. This is obviously what it's gonna look like. This is super cool right here. You can see that spoiler looks really menacing, and it just looks really, really great. So another thing I noticed was the two-tone style paint job it's got. It's really the top half of the car that gets that secondary paint job. So that's kind of what I want to focus on, I guess, in this part, just getting a good color on it. So I think what I'm going to do here is go with the midnight purple and then put like a candy red pearlescent on there just to give it a little bit of flavor. And I think I'm going to change the top to the same color as well, the midnight blue, just so that we can match it up a little bit. Boom, there we go. So that gives us a kind of unique and a kind of interesting color. Again, you could play around with the top color if you really wanted to and create some pretty funky or pretty cool designs. But for now, I am just going to go with what I had and making it the midnight blue right there. All right, so that's pretty much it. Let's take this out of the Los Santos custom shop. And this is just a really impressive vehicle. I know there's so many Pfister fans in game. I am as well. The Comet is a beautiful car. I wish there was more like it. But again, finally, it seems we are going to be getting another addition to the Pfister family. And this one is bound to be pretty epic as well. So let's go ahead and take it up here. Just give it a quick overview one more time. So you can see normal opening doors as you kind of expected as the plane flies above us. And just an absolutely stunning, beautiful car, if I do say so myself. Really, really beautiful. Very obviously impressed with what Rockstar's done and what they're going to be adding into the game. So that is just absolutely spectacular. Again, this is the Pfister 811 that we should be expecting to see in game sometime soon. Okay, and finally, last but not least, we've got the Dewbauchee 770, which, as I mistakenly said the other day, was based off Maserati, but it is indeed based off of an Aston Martin variant. I don't know if it's based off the DB10 or a vehicle like that, but it looks pretty amazing. And let's go ahead and just drive around. Let's cruise a little bit. So the other two vehicles were both supercars. The Dewbauchee one and the Pfister one. Those were both going to be supercars. However, it has been confirmed that this vehicle right here, the 770, is going to be a sports car. So it's going to be identical to the way that the finance and felony vehicles were introduced, whereas we had two supercars and one sports car. This next rendition of an update is likely going to be the same thing, where you're going to have two supercars and then, of course, one sports car. So other than needing a car wash, I'm kind of impressed with this vehicle so far. I think that the Dewbauchee family is probably one of the best in the game that Rockstar added into GTA 5. The Massacro, beautiful car. And I don't expect the 770 to be anything less. So let's go ahead and add some color to it right now, and we'll make this pretty awesome. So really the only thing we can do on this car is change up the primary color. It looks as if that roof is always going to remain that carbon fiber, at least how I have it in this mod. Now, that might change with the update and when Rockstar added into GTA Online, but for now, that is how it's going to work. So I'm thinking like a racing green would work really well with this car. Nice Aston Martin green. The dark green would look really good too. Either one of those I think would work. So that's exactly what we're going to go with. And honestly, because we can't do anything else, that's it. I just wanted to change up the color a little bit. So once again, this is the Dewbauchee 770 sports car. This one looks obviously so sleek, so beautiful. You can see that wide profile of this car. Really does look incredible. Whoa, as we run it into traffic right here. That's not what I wanted to do. Good thing we got 100% armor on. So yeah, this car is amazing. It's going to be absolutely incredible when it finally is added into the game. And whenever it does come into the update or in the game in a future DLC. So again, as normal opening doors and ignoring the hood, this is what it looks like. Really, really beautiful stuff right here. Aston Martin, some of the most beautiful cars in the game. And this fictional version of the Dewbauchee 770 is no exception either. Okay, guys, so now what I want to do is just talk about some facts and everything we know so far about these vehicles and about what their status is for Grand Theft Auto Online, when they're going to be coming, what we know so far. So there's actually been some photos found. You can actually get them in the files of what they look like on the, I guess, Legendary Motorsport website, what they'll look like in game. So this is what the Prototypo or the X80 Proto is going to look like in game. So you can once again see a little bit of the inside, which I'm glad they were able to show. That's, I guess, a completed version of this. And it is actually going for $2.7 million. That's right. This is going to be the most expensive supercar in the game. That's right. The X80 Proto or Prototypo, again, I don't really know the name. It's going to be the most expensive supercar in the game by a long shot, which is insane. Now, FunMW2 was actually able to find the social club stats for the upcoming vehicles, and what he found is pretty insane regarding the Prototypo. He believes that it is going to be miles ahead better than the other supercars in the game. In fact, he's calling the Prototypo an ultra supercar. So, wow, is it going to be that much faster than the other vehicles in game, the other supercars that is? Who really knows? But according to FunMW2 and according to the file stats in game, which I'll leave a link to in the description, the Prototypo has some very, very impressive stats, which, yeah, would indicate that this is going to be the fastest vehicle. And that would make sense since it's going to be the most expensive one as well, coming in at $2.7 million. That is absolutely insane. So now let's talk about the Pfister 811. These are some of the photos that can be seen on the website in game for the Pfister. So obviously you can see a little bit of the inside as well. You can see the way that the back is going to look, and it obviously looks very impressive, looks very cool. And then you can obviously see the price. So I'll tell you guys the price. It's $1.135 million. So if this is going to be a supercar, that's on the, I guess, lower end spectrum as far as prices go, because that would make it less expensive than previous supercars we've seen, like the T20 and Osiris, would make it less than this new Grotti that I've got right now, and would also make it less than the supercars added in Further Adventures in Finance and Felony. So I wonder if that's just the Pfister brand, because I know Pfister in-game is pretty cheap. Not like cheap quality-wise, but cheap as in money-wise compared to some of the other vehicles you could buy. So that's interesting. That is a cheap supercar option that I think a lot of people are going to be gravitating towards because of that price. So that'll be interesting to see how Rockstar actually does that. All right, and finally, last but not least, we've got the 770 by Dewbauchee. So I'll show you guys what that looks like on the screen right now. The 770 obviously looks beautiful, as I just touched on. Just an incredibly smooth looking vehicle. So awesome looking. And again, it comes from that Dewbauchee family, which you guys know that I really, really love. So that's going to be incredible. And what's going to be cool is the price as well. The price is not bad. It's only $695,000, which for the most part is relatively cheap, although slightly on the more expensive side for a sports car. Now, the question here is, will the performance be able to stack up with the other sports cars in game, or will it kind of be left in the dust just like the new one that was added with Finance and Felony, the Bestia GTS. So that'll be interesting to see. And another thing that'll be interesting to see is when these cars will be released into the game. So again, the biggest question probably of these vehicles is when are they going to be added in Grand Theft Auto Online? And a lot of people at first assumed that it was going to come in the Cunning Stunts DLC. But then some people have said that they're not entirely sure when it is going to be releasing. Yan even says he's not sure if it's coming before or after the Cunning Stunts DLC. But let's talk about it. Would it make sense for these vehicles to come in the Cunning Stunts update? Yeah, it would. Primarily super and sports cars, kind of fits perfectly with the theme of Cunning Stunts. So that right there makes a whole lot of sense. These vehicles were also packed within the Further Adventures in Finance and Felony files though. So would it make sense for them to be added in a future DLC? I mean, sure, anything's possible. And as you can kind of tell by the vehicles in my game, there are some incomplete aspects of them. I wasn't able to fully load the textures of the inside in the game, which indicates to me that these vehicles may still need a little bit of work before they can properly be published into, let's say, Grand Theft Auto Online. So unfortunately, I don't have a clear and concise answer for you guys. No one really seems to know. It was awfully weird of Rockstar to add these files into the game, especially if they were intended to be used in another DLC and not in Further Adventures of Finance and Felony or some sort of expansion like we saw with the Lowriders Part 2 or Lowriders Customs Classics, where they release them week after week after week. I do not expect that to happen, and I do not expect these to be releasing anytime this month or really anytime soon. If I had a prediction or if I had a projection, I would say maybe sometime in the late summer. I'm guessing sometime towards July, or maybe even sometimes towards late August, maybe mid or early August. I'm not sure, but that's just my best guess and my best prediction for what I think we're gonna see with these vehicles. So anyways, that's all the information that I have for you guys today regarding the 3 hidden supercars in Grand Theft Auto Online. Let me know what you guys think about them, and obviously which one is your favorite in the comment section down below. If you did go on to enjoy the video, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. Without the way, guys, like I said, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.